first simulation with capital budgeting. So the scenario is, as the CEO and head New Heritage Capital Committee, you will decide which project should receive funding. So there is no limit on the number of projects which can be funded, and my task is to evaluate proposed projects using the financial and qualitative information provided and to select projects to be approved for a given year's investment plan using any evaluation criteria I see appropriate. I will be required to monitor my selected investments, evaluate new investment proposals, and submit annual capital plans over a period of 5 years from 2009 to 2014. Most projects are available for investment during more than one fiscal period. Alright, so let's look at how to play. Okay, so in this simulation, I'm the CEO of New Heritage Doll Company, and I will decide which projects receive funding. So this is the capital budgeting, so I'm going to see which ones, from analyzing different elements, which one I think should have funding. Okay, and so now we'll look at the foreground reading. If I wanted to see more, I could click here. Intro video is how to play. So first, now we're going to analyze what I decided. So at the end of my 2014, my company APV is 531.41. We started in 2009 with a revenue of 245.75. Previous year is 329.23. Current is 356.34. So what's nice is the actual is more than the forecast. So revenue has gone beyond what was forecasted it would go. Same with operating income. And the actual is beyond the forecasted. So in 2009 it was 22.60, previous 39.26, and current 43.87. Alright, now we're going to look at net income. In 2009, 13.56, previous year 23.55, and current is 26.32. So all of these, if we look, all of them have increased. It looks like the most that has increased it is revenue. And then operating has almost increased double. Alright, so cash flow division, we see here there's an increase here of both retail and licensing. Production, pretty across the board. So revenue by division. We see that most of our revenue by division is in retail. 232.07. Next highest is in production, and last is in licensing. So we see the numbers listed there. Now we're going to look at operating profit by division. Definitely licensing is the most here. These are pretty similar with production and retail. This one, these two are about the same, production and retail, and then licensing is the least. Alright, so these are our project updates. So we've decided on these different projects, and these are the updates on them. So what I first want to show you before I show you the updates is project details. So these are the projects that got funded. Okay, so these are the projects that got funded. So we're just going to take a look at them. So let's see why we chose one. So we'll start with toddler doll accessory line. Toddler doll accessory line has a low risk. Its lifetime project cost is 3.14. The year selected was 2009, and the project cost was 0. So this is a low risk. It has an NPV of 6.82, IRR of 24.80%, discount is 7.85%, and the payback period is 8.7 years, meaning in 8 years this amount will recover. The PI is 11.24. So we can kind of see how the debt-free project cash flow has been increasing over the last 5 years, these are the projection, the original projections, project income statement, and then I think it also has cash flow. Alright, so we can just look at all of these numbers, and let's take a look at other ones that maybe are different levels of risk. That also is a low. All right, now this is a high risk. Dolls of the World. The target market for this project is tween girls, so this has a smaller target market, maybe increasing the risk. It currently produces dolls only for the mainstream American market. That's another reason it's a high risk. We have a narrow market. This proposal is intended to tap into additional sources of revenue by producing dolls marketed in both the United States and selected export markets. So there are some being exported. The concept is that the Dolls of the World will be an heirloom quality doll dressed in the traditional ethnic dress of each culture and will be marketed under a Proud of My Heritage theme. So let's see how this project did. It has a net present value of 9.63. That is good. The higher is the better. IRR of 21.84%. Discount 7.85%. Payback period is right under 10 years. So let's see. And this one also continues to grow. All right, so net sales increasing, gross profit increasing. All right, net income increasing. So the projection of this looks good. And we can look at another one we've decided on. All right, this is another one that was a high risk. This is a new East Coast distribution facility. The retail division proposes to construct a new warehouse and distribution facility in the United States to support planned expansion of retail outlets in the Northeast and to lower costs associated in NH's growing shipments of product to Europe. The project is considered a high risk, so it has an NPV of 12.12, IRR of 28.08, discount of 7.85, and payback period of right under 5 years. So we see this, and I also want to take a look. This is if we want to look at our current income statement. So that's just some of the sales. So let's look at our current income statement. We can look at we can compare it to company, production, retail, which is a little bit lower of net income, and then licensing is more. So it's 16.09. All those combined, net income 26.32. And it looks like projected wise, it's going to go down, up. It's going to stay about the same. And then, we look into 2020, it's going to go up a lot more, I think, than now, and then continue to rise up to 50.42. So it projects to look good. Cash flow statement. And again, we can look at it with production, retail, and licensing. And financial analysts. All right, so the current year we have a debt-free cash flow of 12.42. That was going to increase. The next year it projects to look double. Our discount factor, that will stay about fairly the same. Discounted cash flow, that's going to increase in the next year. Right now it's at 12.41. It's going to increase to 21.72. Interest tax shields, that will stay about the same at 2.66, just increasing a little bit. Present value interest tax shields, 2.66, same number. This one's going to decrease. Leverage enterprise value is 531.41, and 5-year cumulative EBITDA is 262.63. All right, so when looking at all these, what we really got to decide on with the project is you get to look at what do all of their NPVs look like, what do all their IRRs look like, what is their payback period, and you really got to decide based on that information which project looks the best. There is no right or wrong answer. You want most numbers to be high except for your payback period where the lower is better, but you can't really decide it on one factor alone as there are a lot of different factors that play into it. So maybe your payback period is 10 years, but you have a really high NPV. You kind of weigh out the pros and the cons to make decisions. And so these are the decisions that I made. I personally decided on these different projects to fund. and I'm sure a lot of people made different decisions, but this is my results after. This is the dashboard of my results, and I have a company APV of 531.41, and it looks like it is higher than the forecasted, the actual is, and looks like it's going to continue to grow after looking at the financial statements and analyzing it. So thank you. That was my capital budgeting simulation, and thank you so much for listening.